Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the Universally Epic Podcast, your go to Universal Orlando trip planning podcast. I'm your host, Jim Klein, and today we have a bunch of topics we're going to get to, including Aventura Hotel, Wizarding World of Harry Potter, some motion sickness thrown in there, and some ticketing options for Epic Universe, opening May 22nd, 2025. And to help me, I have my friend and fellow agent. She has been a travel consultant with the Magic for Less Travel for 9 years, and an amazing mom to some really busy girls, Universal specialist Jocelyn Martins. Hey, Jocelyn, how are you?
I'm good, Jim. Thanks so much for having me.
So we're going to talk a little bit today about like some hotels. We'll talk about a little bit, the Wizarding World. You have a little issue with motion sickness, you told me, so we're going to talk about that. And I think that's a big problem for people that, or at least I assume problem for people going to Universal. But like, I want to know, where did your Universal background start? Like, when did you become a Universal fan?
When I was a kid, I don't even know the first time. Early days of it, Universal Studios opening, I would say. We didn't visit as much as we probably did going to Walt Disney World down the road and stuff growing up, but we definitely hit Universal. And so those OG rides have a special place in my heart, like, E.T. and Back to the Future and the original Jaws and Kong and stuff like that. So it's been over the years. And then probably as, an adult, started to go back and visit both, theme parks and stuff and really kind of fell in love with it. And to be honest, I fell in love with the Harry Potter franchise and story and all that because of Universal. When I had started revisiting and was going to be selling it, I was like, all right, I need to figure out this IP. And I don't really know anything about it. I hadn't read any of the books or watched any of the movies or anything. And I was like, all right, I got to dive in. And so then I fell in love with the story and everything. So the Wizarding World is definitely probably my favorite place to be in the parks at Universal.
That the Wizarding World is amazing. Like you walk into there, you're like in another world, and like a lot of people have said like that's like what kind of led to this big boom in theme parks, right? Like the immersiveness of theme parks right now is like pretty much because of the Wizarding World, right? Like, and when you walk in there, you literally get transported to another world, and
Yeah.
it's kind of cool. You mentioned going as a kid and some of the attractions. Like, what was your favorite ride? Like, which one did? Because that was it. You were basically in the same boat as me. Like, I went to Disney a lot as a kid, but then we spend a little bit of time in Universal, and there was so many cool rides. Like when you first go to Universal as a child back in the '90s, you're like, wow, like this is amazing. Like this
Yeah.
is there's so much to do and such different things to do.
Yeah.
So, what was your favorite that OG ride that you call it?
Probably Back to the Future. Like I loved that movie. I loved Michael J. Fox. I thought it was fantastic. And the other one actually, it was so funny. I can still picture sitting in the ride vehicle. It was I don't know the official name, like the Adventures of Hanna-Barbera or something. And I
Oh, yeah.
believe that's where Minion Mayhem is now.
Mini Mayhem is oh, yep, yep.
And something about it struck like my, I don't know, like funny bone to like I would giggle and just laugh. And so then my whole family and whoever was with us would want to sit with me because they would just watch me laugh. And I don't know, but I love the Hanna-Barbera cartoons with the Jetsons and stuff like that. So I did really enjoy that one. And then of course E.T. So E.T. is still a must do whenever I'm in the park.
The last remaining OG attraction,
I
right?
know.
Yeah, mine was Kong. Like, I loved
Yeah.
Kong
Yeah.
growing up. Like, the fact that that thing picked up the whole thing, it
I
had, like,
know.
the breath, bananas, like, it was crazy, and, like, just the queue, like, a New York City subway, that was very, very cool. Like, that was a very cool attraction too. Hanna-Barbera, though, I loved as well. Like, that was a lot of fun,
It was.
growing up.
It was just simple. And
Yeah.
it's funny how Kong has just like come back in different forms. I remember when I did kind of go back as a young adult, I was like, wait, I swear this is different. And so I'm like, Googling and stuff because I'm like, this wasn't the Kong I remember. And
Yeah,
so,
it's in a completely different park now.
yeah.
Uh, so we're gonna talk about, a resort that we both I think enjoyed while we stayed. It's Aventura Hotel. I think it's one of those underrated hotels at Universal. Not really thought about too much, but there's some really great benefits of staying here. What's your thoughts on Aventura Hotel?
Yeah, we love Aventura. There is a specific, I've stayed in a couple different room types, like a standard room, a deluxe room, which is still two queens, but a little bit bigger. And then we often stay in the kids suite or the kids suite with a connecting two queen when we're traveling with friends. And so the kids suite is really unique and it is like perfect for our family of five. I have the three girls who are teen tweens. So when you walk into that room, if you have the connecting queen, there's a connecting door there that you can go in, and that's like a regular queen bedroom. But when you kind of step forward, you've got a bathroom to your left, or I guess it would depend what side of the building you're in, but there's a bathroom and it's really split up. There is a tub, there's a stand up shower, there's, like that separate kind of blocked off toileting area, huge vanity and stuff, with a really spacious bathroom. And then what happens is you go into the main area where there's a little bit of sitting space. You've got like the, little coffee bar area, closet, and things like that. But there's a king bed. So that's kind of like the main living/bedroom area. And as you pass the bed, and it's got nightstands and stuff, there's a curtain that you can draw. And then when you pass through, that curtain separates the next area. There are two twin beds in what's essentially another bedroom. And they have a bureau and stuff, their own TV. And then there's another curtain and another space you can continue into. And it's actually a small living space with a like coffee table, TV, but a pull out full size sleeper sofa. So to have three separate like sleeping spaces for all three kids and just that little bit of separation when people are going to bed or getting ready, I love it. I love it.
Oh, that's great because I think like when most people think of going with like an extended family or a large family, like you really on a budget type of thing would be like Cabana Bay, right? Like that's what like your first thought, but
Yeah.
like to have that is like kind of nice to have.
Yeah. We absolutely have really enjoyed being there, and just where like Cabana Bay has that really fun retro vibe. Aventura is like a totally sleek modern vibe, so it's totally different. I'm usually
Yep.
preferring that newer kind of feel and stuff, so we like that. There's like an iPad in the room that kind of controls everything, the TV, the lights, the heat and stuff, requesting anything. So that's pretty cool. The kids enjoy that. But it's a well done resort, and I like that it's across that street. So Cabana Bay is, that little bit of extra work to go up on that kind of cross
Yep.
over that main road to get over to one of the resorts if you'd want to take a water taxi. Where Aventura, you just walk out and through Sapphire Falls, and then you can take the water taxi or that walking path. So I enjoy that about it as well.
Yeah, I think that's like a really great tip because when we were there, the walk is a little far. Like it's a 20-minute walk, but the buses, I gotta say, they're great at Universal. It's simple because it just takes you from your hotel right to City Walk.
Yeah.
So you basically get off at the same spot every time. So they're very simple, but they're very efficient too. However, that water taxi is amazing. And the good thing about that is when you go in through Sapphire Falls, number one, Sapphire Falls is beautiful as well.
Mm-hmm.
You go down that
Love
staircase
it.
to get to the water taxi,
Yeah.
right? You walk outside and you hit the security line right at Sapphire Falls. So you're going through security there and you don't have to wait online. Not that it's a long wait at City Walk, but you are with the general public as well. And then you can get onto that boat, and once you get there, you're beelining it right over to either Universal or
Fantastic
Islands of
system.
Adventure.
Yeah.
Great, yeah, it's a great little tip there to use that water taxi at Sapphire Falls. Now, I would say the theme is obviously a modern theme at Aventura. When you walk in, the lobby's gorgeous. I think like it's very tall ceilings, kind of opens up to there's a Starbucks, like the Starbucks in every hotel there. And then in the back there, you have like that food court. I don't want to call it a food
No,
court.
I
Like, what
know.
do you?
It's a little different.
It's like it's kind of like a stations, and honestly, like the food was very good there. Like they have a pizza station, like an Asian
Yep.
cuisine station, and I found it to be really good. I actually had a really great buffalo chicken sandwich there that I enjoyed a lot. And I was like, where was this? Like what? Like how
Yeah.
did I not?
The
Like
food
later
is
on in my
good.
trip,
There's
and I'm like,
always seating and stuff, even when you're traveling with a bunch of people. We never have issues sitting down there and
yeah,
everything.
yep, it's a big space now. Like and the and were you able to, so when I was there, the rooftop bar that they have there,
Yeah.
right? That was closed because of the weather. I went in January, and for some reason, I picked like the coldest week ever in
Yeah.
Florida. Like, I was freezing the whole week. I don't, but But yeah, were you able to get out? They were closed every day that I was there. So obviously it depends if it's on the weather
Yeah.
and obviously if it opens.
Yes.
But have you been up
I have several times, and I really, really like it there. And you can visit if you're not staying there, but it is weather. We've definitely been up there when it's been really windy and cool, so not as fun as when it's the wind's not blowing your napkins and stuff away. But the drinks we love. They have appetizers. They have like a smaller menu, but we've enjoyed it and never had anything bad. So we always do enjoy stopping up there and stuff. The views are fantastic too of Orlando.
there? It's like a lounge feel right up there.
Yeah,
Like it's nice. I'm sure the views are amazing too.
yeah.
Um, and then so some people choose to go to like a pool, and I don't know if you're somebody that's really into a resort pool. I'm not sure if this is the right hotel for you. Like it's very small and it's very close to the road, to be honest with you. Like
It is.
like that is my feel. But we were there in January,
Yep.
right? So for us, we knew we weren't going to the pool. I did go to Volcano Bay, and we could get to that in a
Yep.
second because that was kind of amazing. But but yeah, what do you think about the pool there? Like, does it just serve its purpose if you need like a quick dip, like when you're hot in the summertime?
It is. I mean, it's the pool's fine. We've definitely used it, and you are so close to Volcano Bay. But what's nice is it is one of the resort hotels that you have pool hopping privileges. So we've done that. We've just hopped over to other pools. And like I said, again, Sapphire is so close. We love the pool area at Sapphire. We love Royal Pacific. So we've also just pool hopped when we stayed there and wanted to a little bit more room and stuff, or if it tends to be crowded. So that's a nice perk too.
So the pool hopping, right? So like, let's say I go over to Sapphire Falls. What's the procedure? You just walk right in? No, right? There's a process there, right?
So typically you just go to the front desk and you show them your key card and they'll give you one to open the pool area at that respective resort. So
So
it's
it's
super
pretty
easy.
simple. All right, nice.
Yeah.
So now that we mentioned it, right? Volcano Bay is an amazing water park, right? Like I don't know if we really had this on the list to talk about, but when you're staying in Aventura, you should go to Volcano Bay. You literally walk out of a gate and you're right at the entrance.
Yeah.
The security line is right there.
Yep.
It's definitely if you plan on going to Volcano Bay during your stay, like definitely check out Aventura because you basically have your own entrance right into the park.
You do. And what we've done and I would recommend too to guests is, sometimes doing a split stay. I know some people it's like you kind of either don't mind it and some people are just really opposed to it. We pack a lot. I get it. It's not always the most convenient, but sometimes it does help out with your price point. So we almost always are staying at a signature resort hotel with express pass when we're in the dry parks and hitting the studios and islands of adventure to have that access. But then when we were visiting Volcano Bay, which actually my daughter just the other day was like, when are we hitting Volcano Bay again? Like we haven't been in a bit. And it's just really fun. And it's probably my favorite water park in the area to go to. I will definitely say that. So what we'll do is maybe split that time and then bop over to Aventura, whether we're starting or ending there, and add our Volcano Bay day onto that. Since you're not getting express to Volcano Bay with that other stay at one of the signature hotels anyway, and then this way it's super convenient and you're just kind of walking in that dedicated entrance. So we'll do that. We'll split
Great
it up
idea.
like that.
No, I like that idea. Like the split stay, you don't really hear too much about it with Universal. You do hear about like the ghost rooms, right? Like for the express pass and
Yeah.
all that stuff. But you don't really typically think of that, and I think that's a great idea. Going to if you're planning on going to Volcano Bay, that's perfect because let's talk about this about Aventura, the price. Like, how great is the price of Aventura? I went in January; it was under $200 a night
Yeah. The
for
prices
that's
are really good.
a beautiful hotel. Like, it's
Mhm.
not like you're getting you're walking into a beautiful lobby. You're going up an elevator. The kids love that too.
Yeah.
Like the kids are. It feels a lot more upscale
It does. You've got your
for
floor to ceiling
price.
windows in all the rooms and stuff, which is amazing. And the views of the park
Yeah,
are fantastic.
yeah. The views are amazing. The price is right. Like it's definitely if you looking for some place that's really nice, but like within a budget,
Yeah.
it's definitely a place to definitely look at first.
Yeah.
Um, so so then while we're staying there, right, we're gonna go over to the parks, and your favorite area is the Wizarding World.
Yeah.
correct?
Yes, yes.
Yes. So what is it? What is it about it? Like, did you start by reading the books, or did you start in the parks and then start reading the books, or did you not read
So
the books at all?
no, so I started reading the books. I had a trip planned. It was actually an agency trip. I forget which year, but maybe 2018. And I was like, okay, I got to get read the books. And I did not want to read the movies. I did not want to read the movies. Did not want to watch the movies until I read the books. So I started, and I believe I finished the fifth book as I was checking in to my hotel for our stay. So I got the first five books underneath my belt before I had walked in to the Wizarding World. It was just I don't know. I love everything about. I do think it truly is probably the most immersive land that I can relate to. You know, we've got other parks that have lands and stuff, but this is one that I truly love everything about the story and everything. And so well, the books are better than the movies, so don't call yourself a fan if you haven't read your books. I'll get on that high horse, but it's like walking I mean, the movies, it is like walking right into the set, and I know that J.K. Rowling is so involved with their design, and I think they've told us on VIP tours, like, they can't make any kind of changes to any details without her authorization. Like, she is personally involved about things that they do, and so I think it just makes it so authentic for the guests, and it just the first time the girls we took them and they had purchased their wands at Ollivander's and went out to cast some spells and stuff. Like, it was just to watch them do that was amazing. I mean, you go in the restroom, we're going to have some spoiler alert, so if you don't want to know, flip up a couple minutes. But you go into the restroom and you hear moaning Myrtle and stuff. Like, I just think down to that every tiny detail is they just did an amazing job. And so I love it. I love that they decorate it for the holidays and the entertainment that they incorporate there and stuff. So it just everything fits so well. And I think that you see children up to, older adults enjoy it and connect in different ways. So I love that about the area.
Yeah. So yeah, for me, my daughter is the one that read the books. I haven't read Harry Potter at all. Like, I watched some movies,
Yep.
but the books, no. And so for my daughter, walking into that was just amazing. Like, watching her reaction
Yeah.
to that land, she nearly cried. It was amazing. And then she picked up on all those little details,
Yeah.
like, oh, that was in the book. Oh, that was in the, and it's like, and it was really cool to see. For me, being like, just I watched a few of the movies, and like, what I was impressed,
Yeah.
right? Like, so I could have been I was so impressed by just the immersiveness of it, that and it's kind of like you kind of get lost a little bit. It's not even that huge of a land,
No.
but like you kind of, depending on which side you're on, the Hogsmeade, but you kind of get like a little Diagon Alley was beautiful. Like, you go down that one path and there's like the shops there.
Yeah.
Then you have like live musicians and stuff. It really is amazing.
It
Um,
is.
I like to talk about, like, when we talk about any land, food. So butterbeer is like the go-to thing, right?
Yeah.
So do you have a favorite? Do you have, like, which one is your
I'd say
favorite?
probably hot butter beer I enjoy the most. Yeah.
Hot butterbeer
I'd
is
go frozen
so delicious.
next maybe, but I think hot butter beer is my favorite. How about
Yeah,
you?
frozen is. I agree.
Okay.
Hot was the best, and especially in January when it's
Yeah.
freezing outside, that was so
Yeah.
delicious. And I'm not a big, like, coffee with a lot of sugar in it
Me
type of
neither.
drinker.
I
It
drink it
was
black. Yeah, it's very sweet.
but it was so good.
It is
And then
good.
I gotta say, the frozen was good. The regular was okay,
Yeah.
right? Like, it kind of just tasted like soda, to be honest. Like, it just, like,
Yeah.
but
Have you tried the ice
and
cream
then
or the fudge or anything?
I made it a mission to eat every single thing,
You did.
every single thing I could. No, we tried everything. All right.
That's great.
The fudge, I did not like at
Okay.
all. Like, I ate it because I paid for it,
Yep.
but it was okay. It was a little waxy for me.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't as good as I had hoped. I took a nice little Instagram photo of it. I was like, "Oh, this is
So
great. Oh, look at this
funny. The
fudge." And
clotted
I was like,
cream that they serve
"Oh,
at the like Three Broomsticks and
actually,
stuff, that little clotted
you're right.
butter beer clotted cream. I was
I completely
shocked at how much
forgot
I
about that."
enjoyed that. Shocked.
Yep. That was so good. Actually, I would actually put that as number 2 on my list
Yes, if we're doing
because
any of it, yes.
it was so good, and it was such a surprise because 'cause we're like, "Oh, like, we'll just get it, like,
Yeah.
whatever, like, what it," and it comes out and you're like, "Oh, man, I just bought
I
pudding." You know what I mean?
literally yes.
And it was so
It
good.
is
It
so
was so
good.
good.
I agree.
Yeah, that's what, like, honestly, if you go there, get the hot. If it's in August, go get the clotted cream because
Yeah,
that was just as good. It was so good, yeah.
it was. It is.
Um, you know, and then the attractions in the world, it's, you know, we had talked about this kind of offline, but when you go up to these attractions, and this is getting into your issue with motion sickness, right?
Yeah.
Especially with Universal, there's a lot of screens, there's a lot of moving around. So when you're in Diagon Alley, right, Escape from Green Gots, you walk up there, you see the sign, you think you're gonna die. Like those warning signs make you feel
Yeah.
like nobody should be on this ride. Like just walk through the queue and then skip the ride because like you may or may not get out of there alive. Like right, like is
It is. It's very an aggressive warning for sure.
yeah,
Um,
it's crazy.
it is crazy. That I
So
enjoy
so
that one
let's
though. I will I
okay,
will do
you
it.
enjoy that.
Maybe not every visit, especially if we're there for multiple days. I'm not repeating it. I like to hit it though once. I just one the queue is fantastic. It is
Amazing.
amazing. So I always enjoy that. And with their rider swap, everybody can go through the queue, even if you're not riding, and it's no big deal. So always do that. I will do it. I will, like, in full disclosure, I take, they're telling you like a non drowsy form of Dramamine. It's meclizine. So I take that whenever I'm traveling. And I love thrill attractions. So not to be confused with like, I don't like them. They just, ever since I had children, I get so sick. So I will push through. I think Escape to Gringotts helps a little because it's very cold in there. So there's like
Hmm.
cool air kind of coming at you. And I very much will focus kind of staying ahead. And if we're turning, I'm kind of trying to keep my head so like I'm not whipping all around and stuff. So I'll do that. And then I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's
I'm,
impressive.
I'm good for a year. Go ahead, what, Jim?
Yeah, it's one of those rides that like it's kind of like a combination of a different all different kinds of rides. Like right, you start off with almost like a roller coaster,
Hmm.
then you get into like a dark ride type of like Spider-Man esque
Yeah.
type ride. It's very interesting. It's a great ride, and it's for someone with motion. It's kind of nice to know that somebody with motion sickness it can handle that once a year. You know?
Yeah, yeah. I don't really
Yeah.
ride it, like, but it's I will get through it because I do enjoy it. I enjoy seeing the detail and the characters and stuff like that. So I do like
Now
that.
over in Hollywood, what about
Forbidden
I can't
Journey.
even think of that. Forbidden Journey.
Oh, that one I do think I'm going to die. I remember the first time I
Okay.
wrote it. At one point, you're tilted like sort of backwards, upside down, and I was like, I'm going to leave my children motherless. Oh my god, I can't believe. And I'm like, Jocelyn, no one else is. You haven't heard about anybody else dying, but it was just it. I think because it was the first one, technology, we're so used to rides that are so much more technologically advanced than Forbidden Journey. So I've ridden it. I don't know why. I'll like then 5 years later I'll go back and ride it again, and I'm like, that was the stupidest thing I did because I don't enjoy it. I don't. It's a lot rougher. It's not really a smooth attraction. Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of jerks you around a little bit. Like so for those who haven't been on the ride, you're kind of like sitting it's almost like a box, right? Like you basically get in a box facing
Yeah.
outward. They strap you down, right? And then it's like basically a claw mechanism that is just gyrating you into these screens, into a dark ride. Like it is, to be honest, it was our favorite attraction.
Was it
My kids
really?
loved it. Like, I loved it. I
That's
thought it was the
awesome.
greatest thing ever.
Oh,
We
that's
went on it
awesome.
twice. That was the
That's
only ride we
awesome.
went on twice. It was the best. But like you said before, walk through the queue, right?
Yeah.
Because that queue is amazing too. You're walking through this castle, and it's gorgeous. It's really really nice. So definitely do that
Yeah.
if you want to sit out, wait in those rooms right up at the front. It's the best. It is really nice. Um, Now, what about like Three Broomsticks or the Leaky Cauldron? Like, do you make it a point to eat there, or is it like is it not worth it to you? I had the breakfast at where is that? Leaky Cauldron, I believe,
Yep.
and it was really really good.
Yeah, we've eaten at
It
both a couple times, different meals, and I would just say it depends on the trip if we're making it a point to go, or if we just happen to go and stuff. But we definitely enjoy the food. I've as long as there's, no, I mean, sometimes there's a good line and stuff, but if there's no line to get in, we'll absolutely that will probably be our place to eat in the parks. You know, our location of choice and stuff. I think again the theming carried into there is fantastic, and the food's really good, and it's a better price point than some other I think theme park fare.
Yeah, I think the value of it is a lot better. Like, obviously, you're in a theme park, so you're going to pay a little bit more than like you would be normally accustomed to.
Yeah,
But like, I think the quality of the food is really really good in these in the Wizarding World. It's very good, pricey at times, but it's not that crazy
no, it's
considering
not.
you can get away with because it's so tasty. It's not it's you don't really hate it afterwards, you know, like like
Yeah.
other places.
Yeah. And it's easy. Like you can share a lot of things and get different things there and stuff. You're not locked into like anything crazy and stuff. So we do like it.
Yeah. So and then so now when Epic Universe opens, right, we're gonna have another new land over there, another Wizarding World.
Yeah.
Now, there's not much to talk about over there, but like just to know that like that's gonna be another immersive land that's gonna be amazing. Like you know it's gonna be amazing, and the drawings of everything look really really nice right now.
Yeah.
So like I'm assuming you're gonna be super excited. Is that gonna be like your first land to go to, or
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. I'm super
yeah?
excited for the Ministry of Magic, and it's set partly in Paris and stuff, and then the British Ministry and stuff. And because we've loved to the Fantastic Beasts trilogy and like those stories as well. So we're really excited for that. I think it's going to again, it's being built so much later than the other parts of it. So I think what they're going to be able to do with technology and creativity is going to just kind of blow our minds. Like I don't think I can wrap my brain around how fantastic it's
Yeah,
going to be.
yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun to just walk around in there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so as we're talking about Epic, you know, there's some there's a new ticketing. Um, I don't know how to even say this. Like new ticket offering to go to Epic Universe. Like, so if you're at Universal, you're staying at one of the resorts. Let's say you're staying at Aventura, right? And you want to go see Epic Universe. There's only one way right now that you could purchase a ticket to get to Epic Universe when it opens in May 22nd, 2025.
Yeah.
Um, the minimum is a 3 night stay, right? The 3 park ticket, a 3 day ticket, right? Um, what's your feelings on this? Like, what do you think Universal's thinking in terms of? Well, let's break it down first. Like, so basically, you get 2 days at the original parks, right?
Hmm.
Universal, Florida, and Islands of Adventure. You could add Park Hopper to that, or the Park to Park if you want. And then you get 1 full day at Epic Universe where you cannot go park to park.
Yeah.
So, what do you think of that? Like, why do you think they're doing that? And do you think it's a good idea?
I think well, I can't say I necessarily love it, right? Because people want to go there and spend all their time at Epic. I think they're smart in doing it, and I think they're doing it to see how it's going to work. It's almost essentially it's soft opening even after a grand opening, and they're going to see, look at crowd patterns, look at things, maybe corrections or ticket offerings that they need to make. I think they're comfortable being would be the word I would say, not vulnerable, but they're comfortable being like, we're not exactly sure either. So let's figure it out. They seem to be very
Yeah.
forthcoming with this is a first phase of opening and how it will work initially. So we know it's going to change and it's not going to stay like this indefinitely. So I think it's great that they're not saying like, we know what we're doing. I mean, we've never opened the park before, but we know what we're doing and we're going to do it like this. I mean, there's sometimes some arrogance in that, right? And so they're like, we're not exactly sure. We want to see how you feel when you come, how it works, what the feedback is based on not having expressed right now, different things like that. So I think they're doing it to just figure it out in a way that it's still open to everybody, and then they can make changes accordingly and to do their best for. I mean, they want to do right by us and the people that go there. I mean, yes, it's a business, and so it's money at the end of the day in sales, but they're not going to sell if we're not happy, going and stuff. So I think it's kind of a smart way to open it, to be very honest.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I think the ticketing plans are kind of nice because you don't want to really park hop, right, from park to park when if when you're that's the part that everybody's going to want to go see, right?
Yeah.
So to eliminate that part is not that big a deal because you want to spend the whole day there anyway,
Right.
right? You want to explore all the different lands, see everything. So that part of it is mute. You could park to park. I suggest getting the park to park for the other two parks
Yeah.
because that's just it's so easy. I at one time I had clocked it when we were in there. Going from one Wizarding World to the other was 20-minute walk.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
The
amazing, right?
Hogwarts
Like that's
Express
a
gets me
quick
there a lot faster.
yeah, right? Yeah. So and that was and when you get into Epic Universe, you're gonna want to stay there the whole day. You don't care about the park to park ticket, and then it's also like it's kind of for crowds, right? Like so you don't want everybody bombarding this new park and then everybody saying, "Oh, well, the lines were 3 hours for this,
Yeah.
3 hours for that," right? And then what happens then? Blows up on social media. They look bad. Everybody looks bad. Nobody had a good time, right? So I think how they're rolling this out is really nice, and
Yeah.
they have mentioned that they're going to do individual park days once they get like a handle on everything.
Yeah.
So I think they're doing a good job. I think when it comes to like the new ticketing options, obviously three days is the lowest, and then it goes up to I believe 5.
5 right now. Yeah.
Is it 5? Right. So yeah. So like I think they're planning it out where it's like, you could plan a nice 5-day vacation there and go see everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Or you could do 2,
Probably
3 days stay, 3-day
yeah.
tickets. It might not be like as cost effective, but for the people who are really like, well, we really wanted to do 2 days, then you buy 2 sets of 3-day tickets, or
Yes,
you
you would
do a
have.
split stay. I mean,
Yeah.
there's ways to get some access and stuff, but I think they have to figure it out, and they're smart in doing it.
Yeah. I look forward to seeing how this all works out when it does open.
Yeah.
Um. So so let's wrap this up. All right. I want to thank you for becoming available today to do the show.
Yeah.
Let everybody know where they can find you, where they can, see what you got on social media, how to book through your Universal trip with you.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me, Jim. So you can find me at Back to WDW. I am not the most active on socials. I'm usually in my inbox working with guests there and stuff. But you can always sign up for a newsletter. If you go to my Instagram and hit my link tree, you can sign up for a newsletter there. And that way we can touch base or email me. It's Jocelyn, Jocelyn at themagicforless.com. But thanks for having me. It was great to talk about Universal. I'm excited to get to go and be back. And I got my Harry Potter tree up in time for our podcast here. So very
I
excited.
love it. I love it. All right. Thank you so much. So, in conclusion, guys, let's like and follow Universally Epic Podcast on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. Also, join the Universally Epic Tips and Tricks Facebook group community. If you have any Universal Orlando trip planning questions, email me at jim.klein at the Magic Plus Travel. And have an epic week, everybody. Take care.
Oh, good.
Sorry, my phone is like everything's like just shut down because my phone went off.
Oh, no.
All
Oh,
right, so
no.